Hello everybody, we are back. Football season is wrapping up, but it's definitely basketball season, so that means it's time for the Redbird Report. I'm Joe Deacon, and with me is Illinois State beat writer Jim Benson. How you doing, Jim?
Good, Joe. How's it going?
Good to have you back. Good to have the season underway again. And let's take a look at the Redbirds. Obviously, they got the season started Saturday down in Fort Myers against Florida Gulf Coast, and a little bit of a defensive letdown, I would say.
A big defensive letdown. Florida's Gulf Coast basically got what they wanted. They drove the lane at will. ISU's transition defense was just disastrous. It was kind of unexpected. Obviously, Illinois State was a little short-handed, only 8 scholarship players, but when you don't even know who you're guarding sometimes down the court, that can lead to a lot of problems. And I will say Florida Gulf Coast had really good guards. Their 2 guards. At 87 points, I'd have thought they'd have won. But you know, when you give up 98, you're not going to beat anybody.
You mentioned obviously a little bit shorthanded right now with a couple of guys injured. This is definitely a different team than the reigning regular season Valley champions. So some guys have left, of course.
It's a totally different team than last year, and it's even a totally different team than Dan Muller thought he would have. We have 2 guys, really guys in rotation out: 7-footer David Ninja and Elijah Clarence, who's going to be their point guard, freshman, 6'4" freshman. And then if you go back to the summer, they thought they were going to have Zach Copeland, a 6'4" shooting guard. You have those 3 guys in this lineup. It's very different, but one of them's not going to be here this season, and 2 of them aren't going to be here until December. So you know, you got to play with what you have right now, and it's going to be tough a little bit. The non-conference schedule is really tough.
I mean, especially when you're talking the rim protector and your point guard. I mean, those are obviously key positions.
Exactly.
A couple of little bright side though. Keyshawn Evans, 28 points in his first game, and then Malik Yarbrough actually looked pretty good in his debut, and Phil Fain with 24 as well.
Yeah, and the guy who really impressed me really for his first game was Taylor Berninga. He had 14 points. He made 4 3-pointers. You know, a lot of times you see a freshman in their first game, and especially on the road, they get a little hesitant. He did not. When the shot was there, he took it. That was kind of good to see. What wasn't good to see for the whole team was rebounding, 48-24. I mean, wow, you're not going to beat anybody getting out rebounded 48-24.
And again, that's another part where they're missing David and Jay a bit there too.
That definitely hurts. Yep.
So they move on. They'll put that one in the book. Hopefully, learn from it. Now they've got a real tough challenge. They're going this week to South Carolina, to Myrtle Beach for the Puerto Rico Tip-off, which has been relocated after the hurricane. And their first game up is going to be against South Carolina.
Well, they couldn't have got a worse draw in the tournament, to be honest with you. Not only even playing South Carolina and Puerto Rico would have been difficult. Playing South Carolina in South Carolina is going to be, I mean, in a small gym.
Yeah.
So you know it's like a 6,000 seat gym, and you know 99% of the fans are going to be for South Carolina. That's going to be, it's really a tough draw. But I'm just kind of curious to see how they respond after, really probably getting a pretty good tongue lashing this week. That's how you find out about a team. If they respond to what they're coached at during the week, we'll see what they're made of.
Yeah, and obviously you would hope that they would play a little bit better on defense, but they're going up against South Carolina team. As I read in your story, that Dan Muller says that they're going to compete. They're going to get right after you.
Frank Martin teams always are just great defensive teams. I mean, they get into your belly button and defend you defensively. They have a lot of good athletes, a lot of size. I mean, it's just a tough matchup for Illinois State at this point in the season.
So it's 3 games in 4 days. After the South Carolina game, they will either play Boise State or UTEP on Friday. And what can you tell us about either of those teams?
I don't really know too much about them. Boise always has a very good team. UTEP is coached by Tim Floyd, former Bulls coach, coached Iowa State. He's kind of done a good job down there. Both of them are very good mid-major teams, kind of like Illinois State. So that's going to be a tough game to win. Either one of those is going to be a tough game to win. But I think the best scenario for Illinois State, I mean, if they could somehow get 2 wins out of this tournament, coming home for their first home game against Quincy a week from Wednesday, I think that would be very good.
Yeah, and the possible game then on Sunday would be, right? Would the other 4 teams in the bracket are Tulsa, Western Michigan, Iowa State, and Appalachian State, and so they play one of those in that final game.
Well, which is kind of funny because if it's Tulsa, they would play them again in 2 weeks at Redbird Arena, and they actually played twice last year at Tulsa. So I mean, these teams are like they're back in the old days when Tulsa was in the Missouri Valley Conference.
Yeah, and you mentioned the Missouri Valley Conference. As I already said, they are the reigning regular season champs. It's obviously a new look in the Valley now with Wichita State gone and Valpo replacing them. So as they get through the non-conference schedule with the shortened lineup, it's going to help build them for the Valley once it comes around.
Yeah, it is, but they're not going to be a complete team until the Valley season starts. Like you say, the rim protector is gone. They're really short-handed on the front line. You got Phil Fain, 6'9", Berninga, 6'8", and nobody else more than 6'6". That's tough. Elijah Clarence. I'm sorry. He's going to be something special. I think people are going to really enjoy watching him play. But he's missed the whole preseason now, and for a point guard, that's crucial. So it might even take him really until maybe January, early February to really kind of get into the flow of things.
All right, well, that's going to do it for our first episode. Obviously, the first game tomorrow, is it 9:30 in the morning?
10:30 our time.
10:30 our time. Illinois State will be on the court, and then possibly early again
9:30 on
Friday.
Right.
So Jim will be following the action from here in town. We'll have all the coverage on Panagraph.com and in your daily Panagraph sports sections. Thanks for watching.